All right, all right, all right. Welcome, you loyal listeners, to another episode of Agency Intelligence, where I give you real agents inside real agencies, giving you the real agency intelligence and not the artificial that they try to make you believe out there. This is Cass, and he's giving you the real stuff. And today we released a great podcast, Naisha Gutsa, excuse me. If you get out there, you've got to listen to his story. It's profound. I had never had so many goosebumps. If you're listening to this, you're going to get a very similar probably thing, different story. But I specifically went out and I found what his name is, Ebens Jean. They call him Benz. And when you think about it, Benz is like known with class, right? You're like, damn, someone's saying Benz, it's like, that's some classy shit. Well, that's the guy that we got you for right here, man. That's the one. That's what we're doing for you, loyal listeners. But here's how I found him. Before we get on here, Benz, before I get on, Benz, welcome to the podcast, brother.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it, man. It's an honor. It's an honor to be in the podcast with you, man.
No big deal. It is a big deal, though, to be on this podcast. So I do thank you for that. No, I'm joking. I'm totally joking. Anyways, no, man. We're gonna have some fun here. The loyal listeners know that. Loyal listeners, before we get into the three questions, I want to let you know where I found out about him was from our friend Marcus Sheridan. And I'm going to bring Marcus on here. I can't believe I haven't had him on here in the last couple of years. It was years ago he was on. He said that it's an inspiring story that he actually met. We're going to call him Benz, but Ebens is his actual official name. But he said that he met Benz, and he said that he was inspired because he drove all the way from Delaware to Virginia, if I'm correct about that, to this conference, and said that he had an inspiring story when I believe he came from Haiti at the age of 12. So we're going to get into that. And I'm just excited that you've accepted this invitation, Benz.
No, man, it's like I said, it's an honor. It's an honor, man. When you say you're a friend of Marcus, hey, that's it for me. That's still the deal.
He came to our event, our Brain Share event. He came to that. We have an event at Agency Intelligence. He came to it last year and absolutely blew minds. I've seen him probably 6 or 7 times, and he never fails. And he's just a great speaker too, right? Just not the information, but like he gets down, what are you thinking, Benz? He gets right down into you, and he remembers names, and he's just a great speaker. Speaker, very dynamic. Yeah. So here we go. Let me start with the 3 questions that everybody wants to know before we start to relate to you. Are you an iPhone or are you a Droid user?
Man, I just switched to the iPhone.
Wah, wah, wah.
I've been an Android user. I just literally a couple of weeks ago, I made the switch.
Did? All right. Well, yeah. At one time we were brothers. At one time we were friends. But, we had a friendship. We didn't even know about it. Now that we know about our friendship that we are going to start, now we ain't friends. So anyways, no. All right, man. What's the last app you downloaded? What is the last app that you downloaded?
The last app that I downloaded was YouTube Kids.
YouTube Kids?
From kids.
That tells us a lot about you and your life. Yeah. That's great. You got some kids. What are they, boys, girls?
A boy and a girl.
Okay. How old?
So 2. Mm-hmm. 4 and 3.
Man. You're over the 2s and the 3s, so they're getting better. But, man, oh, my gosh, 3 and 4. Oh, you just make me tired thinking about it, Benz. I'm getting just sleepy right now. Oh, my goodness. I got a 16 and a 22-year-old. So
wow.
I tell people all the time, my wife just would not leave me alone when we were younger. I was like, honey, please, Every time I tell that story, she hits me when we're in real life. She's like, shut up. Quit saying that. So anyways, hey, do you love to win or do you hate to lose?
I love to win.
Love to win? Any reason why that sticks out when I ask you that question?
Man, because in life you're gonna lose. Now you're gonna have more losses than winning. But just thought about it, man. Like when I start winning, it give me it fill me up, man. Like it fill like I'm achieving
Right.
something. No, when I win, no, that's how I
Your
make
cup
me feel.
overfloweth, right? You know, it's just abundancy. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I love it so much. I love to hear from that.
Yep.
And you know, and welcome to the insurance industry. You know, I'm not saying that you're new. This is diversity is something, whether it's race, whether it's gender, diversity is only going to make us stronger. And it's the reason why I love when I hear people like yourself of Marcus. That's why I want to expose you to the world so that people realize like it's strength in that unity. It's strength in our differences, right? It's the material that's woven the fabric of American society, you know, and and I'm just excited because I'm seeing a lot more of that than I did when I first got in the industry in 01. And so that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Hey, two things we believe got you to where you are today in life, here. And we believe it's one of them skill and one of them is luck. Benz, which one would you say is a bigger factor in your life that got you to where you are right now? Skills, huh?
Skills.
Really? Why you hopped on that?
Yeah.
Why was that, Benz?
Yeah. Skill. The reason I say that, man, because there's a lot of stuff that growing up I had to learn. Like I was shy in school, you know, so I was not a big talker, man. So all these stuff I had to learn how to talk to people, how to approach people,
Gotcha.
how to build relationship with people, man. It's all become a skill for me. Like to get where I'm at now, it's all the skills, man. It's been
I love
skills.
a man with self-awareness, recognizes where he's at and how he got there. Woo, love it. I love that
Yes,
stuff,
sir.
man. So, Benz,
Yes,
take
sir.
us back. This is our time to relate to you. Give us in 2, 3, 4 minutes. We're going to discuss. I'll pick out some things in your story, but in a couple minutes, bring us to where you were and then how you got to here. And if you go 10 minutes, it's fine, but we want to hear your story.
Well, came here when I was about 12 years old. It was a new culture. Came from Haiti. When I came here, man, like everything was new. The weather was one, and I had to learn a new language, which was the hardest thing for me. No, to learn a new language, man. Like, cause back home we speak French and Creole. Now I have to learn English, which it's a whole different ball game. So came here, went to school. Like I said, I was shy. Didn't make a lot of good choices, man. At school. Then I'm a part. Like I love to party. So when I was in school, I love to party. I'm a DJ.
Oh, okay.
I gotta say that. So I'm a DJ. So because a lot of people say, how you get from insurance to a DJ? So I'm a DJ. So I love to dance. I love music. I'm a father of two, a husband, a risk-taker of men of faith.
Yes.
I could go on and on, man.
So you didn't know any English when you came here when you were 12?
No, I didn't
So
know
how do you
no
do
English, man.
that? As an ignorant white American from America, I can't comprehend that. Like, how do you come to another country and like communicate? And I want to say, Benz, real quick, my wife and I accidentally drove across the true story, loyal listeners. We were in San Diego and we accidentally, I mean, we didn't really know, but we knew, drove across the Mexican line to go to Mexico. We freaked out as soon as we got there because all the signs, we couldn't understand one of them. And I'm like, this is unbelievable. And I'm trying to talk to people to have them tell me how to get back on the highway. I mean, I'm only a mile or two over the line, right? And no one can understand me and I can't understand them. And I'm looking at my wife. I'm like, what in the hell are we going to do? I don't know how to get back onto the damn interstate, And finally, we ran into a guy and he was like, here's what you do. And he showed us how to do it. And that was the only way we got back. You're telling me that you came from another damn country, not knowing English except for Creole and French. How do you do that? How do you do it on day one? I mean, how do you do it?
Man, I remember when I first went to school, man, it was it was crazy because people were speaking. I didn't quite understand what was going on. Like it's like I'm confused. No, I'm my first day in school, man. I was confused and I didn't quite understand the language. But what actually, man, the way I learned English was from a book. Was actually a book, man, and I just picked words out of that book, and I started having little conversation with people around the school. And just keep working on it over the years, man. But I remember when I first came, like, it didn't make no sense at all, man. Like, I was confused.
But you were, which caused you to be shy, as you said. I mean,
yes,
you can't speak the language and know or understand what the hell they're talking about if you did understand the language. You know what I mean? Because, just coming, good for you, man, the adversity. And then the fact maybe was also that you were 12. Right? Probably would have been different if you were 30, right? We just absorb things so much easier when we were younger. How old are you, Benz?
I just turned 31. Just turned 31, yeah.
All over it. All over it. So, okay, so we fast forward, we get to where we are, we like the party, don't worry, see that I mean, you fit right in with us, right off the bat. You was like, hey, I like the party, we're all like, hey, I like that guy, right? I mean, so I'm the same way, ain't no different. I can't dance, I mean, I am the typical white guy when it comes to dancing, but I will dance all night. I absolutely love dancing, absolutely love it. I'm the guy that people are like, I can't believe he's on the dance floor, but yeah. He's trying though, look at that poor guy out there. That's what I get, that's what people are saying to me, but you know what? I don't give a shit. All right. So now tell me about cool. Benz. How in the hell did you choose and get into insurance?
For most people, man, it's not like something that you wake up and say, I'm going to become a insurance agent or an insurance owner, because back in school, what they teach you how to be employees. And I remember when I was in sixth grade, they asked everybody what you want to be when you grow up. Like, we was doing a project, like what kind of stuff that you're gonna be doing when you grow up. Insurance was not on my list, man. It was not on my list, man. I want to be a soccer player, go to the MLS, be a star. Yeah. So it happened, man. Like, the way it happened is that I used to work for a company where I used to do B2B, going to companies, B2B sell, going to companies offering employee benefits. Okay. It was not insurance, it was legal insurance. And when I go to these companies, I'm meeting other people, like other agents and other insurance broker, and I just ask them questions. I just keep asking them questions. Then from there, I was like, you know what? I could do this. What they're doing, I can do it, man. I can do it. Just give it a shot. Went to work for Allstate. The lady that gave me a chance, she gave me a shot. Went to work for Allstate, man, and she told me the step that I need to take my license. Then from there, it took me 11 times to pass the test.
Goodness gracious.
11 times, man. But I knew God had something for me. So on the process, I didn't give up. Now I kept on going, taking the test, kept on investing money. Every time I didn't pass it, man, I just went back to the books. Went back at it again, man. On my 11th time, I passed it. Then from there, I went to work for Allstate and learned the industry on that side. On that side. So learn it quick. Learn that on that side, I I was limited. Basically, I was limited. I couldn't help a lot of people that I wanted to help. So then my wife had given me an idea, because my wife been in the industry way before me. So she had given me an idea. She was like, well, this is the guy that I used to work for on the independent side. Give him a call. And I give that broker a call and went to work for him for a couple of years. Then I just fall in love with the independent side, man. Like, it's just like, yo, that was the aha moment for me, man. It's like, yo, this is what is this? Like, this is bigger than what I thought it was, man.
Ooh, love to hear that. That so many young people in this industry need to hear exactly what you said right there. This is bigger than I thought, you know? So many options, freedom, you know, you get to do what you want, go after the customer you want. No one can tell you what to do other than the government. Play within those rules, you know. But yeah, it's like, dude, yeah, that's great. That's great. And so did you go by yourself, or did you partner up with some people, Benz?
It's my wife and I. My wife and I, man, we the co-founder of One Way Insurance.
That is cool.
So so it's both of us, man.
And then and I don't know, this was there it is. Is Gertha Jean? Is that your wife?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep,
okay.
yes,
I see her. And for all you loyal listeners, you can either see that. Well, you can't see this, but you can always find us on YouTube. But I'm looking on his LinkedIn profile, something that he's shared 6 days ago from One Way, which had to do with the International Women's Day. And so, yes, you're right. Yeah. This is the greatest industry in the world because of women. Now, so here you are. You're overwhelmed by being an independent. You've been trained by Allstate. So did you stay personal lines? Do you do commercial? How did you change from where you were to where you are now?
I had to make a slight change, man. And because with Allstate, it's all personal line. So when I went to work for that broker, the independent broker, man, and I learned the commercial. But even that, man, like, I had some roadblock in my way, because I'm that type of guy, man. I'm an all-around player. So I want to basically learn everything that I can from the personal line to the commercial line. It's almost like a little LeBron James, where he could play all 5 positions. That's kind of who I am. No, I want to learn all 5 positions of the business. And when I went to that broker, he kind of, you could say, in a way, limited me to do that. And I just found my way. I just found my way to go to the commercial side, and I fell in love with the commercial side, man.
How long have you had One Way Insurance Group? How long ago did you start it? 4 years?
4 years.
So what's the makeup look like? It's you, your wife, who else?
We have two other producers.
Okay, and they're doing personal lines.
So it's
doing personal lines as well.
One is in the life, one is in the personal line. My wife and I do the commercial, and my wife do the personal line.
Okay, cool. So you kind of, if you can't do all of the positions, it's at least knowing them, as you said, and then finding smart professional people to put in charge of that, right?
Yes, sir.
And I love that.
Yes, sir.
It's really always funny to me. I never really say anything. Loyal listeners or other agency owners, you may know what I'm talking about, is that sometimes my employees look at me like I don't understand the position that they're in, right? And I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a know-it-all, but I was employee number 1 for the first 3 years, right? I mean, I did the accounting, I did the quoting, I did the selling, I did the marketing, I did the advertising. I mean, it was just me, right? And so there's not much that can be done there. And so, but what I figured out, and I truly believe with all my heart, this is Jason saying this, that I am the best delegator I know, because I have, loyal listeners, you've heard me say it, Benz, this may be your first time, but Steve Jobs said, I don't hire smart people and tell them what to do. I hire smart people and I have them tell me what to do. And that's very, very good, because that shows me that was someone who really understands delegating, really understanding that Benz is limited to the things that he has his God-given gifts, right? And sometimes we're always trying to say, let's double down on our we're always trying to improve our weaknesses, when sometimes we should be more focused on our strengths and then delegating out those. And it sounds like that's what you've kind of started to do here with the different lines and the different quote unquote LeBron positions, right? Am I wrong or right? Tell me about that.
No, you're right, man. And I could relate, man, because when you first started opening a business, you doing everything. You're doing from accounting, like you're doing basically everything. So you know the position. Now, it's not like you don't know the position. So all the stuff that you're saying, that, hey, I agree, man. I agree, because you gotta delegate those positions, because you've been in those positions before, now, and you know the position.
Hey, depending on the defense, LeBron knows what position he needs to play and delegate to the others, right? And that may change periodically.
Yes. Yep.
But he knows what it is. I mean, the other day, loyal listeners recording this on the Ides of March on March 15th at 12:25. But the other day he played, he scored like 50 points and he played center, right? Because that's what the team needed of him at that time. So, so yeah, that's really, really good. Ben, so where are you guys going? I mean, how are you? What are your plans for growth, right? I mean, where do you see yourself? Are you guys involved in the community? Is it more advertising? Do you have referral partners? Where's that growth coming from, Benz?
Man, you just mentioned the community, man. We are big in our community, man. Like, without the community, we want to be here today, man. And we big in our community, where we do book bag giveaway to the kids. We do toy giveaway. We just did one in December where we blessed over 100 families. We do education, just to educate our community by doing home buyer seminar. I'm really involved in the community, man. Now, and in our mission statement, if you go onto our website, our mission statement is people driven. No, sorry. Community driven, people focused, community driven.
Gotcha.
So we big on the community, man, and this is where our growth came. Like doing COVID-19, we was out there giving gloves out, passing masks, like anything that we could do, we did that. So this is where I could say this is where it came from the community.
You know, that's amazing, because a lot of times it is really tough to go after the community, because that's such a long-term play. You know, it's either being out in the community, exposing yourself and going back to work and letting it come in, or showing that you're someone in the community and then after an amount of time attacking that, you know, being able to say, hey, I am now going to have enough confidence to ask this person for their business or ask them for a referral because I have proven myself in my community, you know. And I think sometimes that gets lost with a lot of the younger people today. I mean, I was ambassador of the year for like 3 chambers. I'm not saying that to a brag. What I'm saying is once I dominated one chamber, I went to the other chamber. But what I did is, after being in those chambers for a couple months, I had no reluctance to go after somebody and say, hey, I would like to have an opportunity, because they saw that I cared and they knew that I was coming from an agency that cared. So do you develop that same kind of mentality to harvest those leads, Benz?
We do, man. One thing that we do, man, is that when we do community event, we don't ask nothing in return.
Right.
Like we don't ask nothing in return, man. Like, it's because God bless us. We want to continue to bless others. Like, nothing in return. Like, we build relationship with people in the community. If they want to do business with us, that's great. If they don't want to business with us, that's fine. But we don't ask nothing in return. Like, if we do we give a parent a book bag for their kids, we're not asking them for that. Hey, come to my agency, get a quote. No, man, it's gonna come back. We know we are planting the seed, and the seed, man, like it's gonna come back. 10 years, 20 years from now, it's gonna come back. So our focus is that, man, because in Delaware where we at, there's a big Haitian population, Hispanic population. So we like our agency serve, like it's different culture that we serve, like the Haitian, the American culture and the Hispanic culture. So it's like we trying to learn more about different those culture, and just giving back, man. We don't ask nothing in return.
I like that, dude. Yes, I like about your. Let me ask you this: do you ever go back to Haiti? Do you have family there? Do you ever try to contribute to, do you have plans to go back there and try to change lives there? Just curious.
I went back 2009 before the earthquake. I went back. I do have plans, man. I do have plans because this is where I'm from. So I gotta make a change. Now I gotta go back and give back. I did some work with a colleague of mine who have an organization down there. We contribute to that organization, but eventually I want to go back and do more stuff, man. Inspire people like me, man. Like to go after your dreams, no matter what the circumstance. No matter what you going in life, you still have a dream. You still have a dream, man. I don't care what country that you in, you have a dream.
And you can totally achieve it. You can totally achieve it. And let's be honest, it's not easy in Haiti. It's not easy in a lot of countries, but especially in Haiti. We all know, with them being so close to America, some of the craziness that's been going on there recently, and our thoughts are with you and your people. I mean, that's just crazy down there, man. And I hope it gets better. Hope it gets better. Drugs and violence and corruption are in so many damn countries. Hell, probably all of them. I mean, America's not even immune to that, So it's just like just the way it is, though. But it's just crazy. But anyway, so Benz, anything else like you'd like to share with us about your agency? Why are you different? Why? I mean, we know your why of who you are, but and how you're executing it. I mean, as we wrap this up, anything else?
I'm not gonna say, because I was listening to a book. I'm listening to a book today, by Marcus. So the only thing I would say, man, about where we at, the state where we at, man, the only difference is that you don't see too many people that look like me. That's the owner of an agency. So where we at, we are the only Black owner insurance agency on the independent. You don't see that. That's the only different, man, that I could see, because they do insurance, but the owner is not. It doesn't look like me. No, that's the only different, man. Is that that's only different. The owner is not.
Absolutely, they don't. And I think as we go through life, and especially in this country, it's going to become more of an advantage, because you are different in your own right, and whether you attract more Haitians or you attract whatever that could possibly be, I think you'll start to attract everybody, is what it is. And that just shows that you're showing that cooperation is possible, and I'm trying to think of one of my buddies right now, that I want to connect you with. But you are right. When I was the national chairman for the Big I, brokers, there was one Black, I think maybe one or two Black people in the whole organization that I would see. There was probably more than that, but and then there was also a lack of women, right? Women have just, I mean, there are now diversity committees and stuff that are being formed. I love it whenever I find out of some organization there's a diversity committee, and then I find out it's a white guy running it, and I'm like, what is going on here? Oh my gosh, it's like, It's like, what are we doing? You know, and it's like, but it just happens to be that this is a special time. I talk about that with diversity, as we kind of talked about at the beginning. And I really love your story. Your story is inspirational, and your story is coming from a different country, but there's other people who are in the ghettos or are in not such a good life or a good house that, you know, they're abused or they're beat or, you know, whatever it can be. And I like what you said. Obviously, they're not ever listening to this, but I like what you said. They have a dream, you know, and you can get through that dream. You are into that dream, and that's really, really good stuff, man. Love it. Last two questions.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I wanna add something too, man. Like having a dream, because one of my quotes that I wrote, man, is that you gotta be able to take the risk. No, having a dream is one, taking the risk is two. No, so dream chasers are risk takers. No, you gotta be able to take that risk. Now you gotta be able to. That's the only way for you to go from here to here. You gotta have that, make that first step, take a leap of faith. That's what we did. We just took the risk. No, we took a leap of faith. Hey, this thing is gonna work. No, I don't have plan B. This is plan A. It has to work, man. It has to work. So anybody that's listening to this right now, if you have a dream, you gotta be able to take the risk.
Yes, you have to. You have to take that risk. And the risk is never as bad after you take it. It really isn't. It's so scary. We build it up to this thing. And then after you take it and you know, have some failures and you learn a couple things or you get some success, you're right about that. Quincy Branch.
Yep.
I want you to remember that. If you can remember that or write it down. Quincy Branch is someone you need to get to know, Benz. He is an African-American out of Nevada. He played basketball. He's a fantastic. He owns agencies all across America now. And I think Quincy's probably, he's going to say he loves me for this because I'm probably guessing too young. He's probably about 34, 35. And I mean, his dad and him started out of Louisiana. Hell, he may even have some French and Creole in him too from down there, you know. But yeah, they started there, and they literally just went to Nevada, Las Vegas, Nevada, and started a business. And his dad started an agency, but he started by selling toilet paper and toiletries to casinos. I mean, here he is at 19 years old, like just selling this stuff, and he's like, I was making some pretty damn good money, you know. But then I think it was the 2007, 2008 economic issues came, and he's like, hey, I got to do something else. Jumped in with his dad, bought his dad out quickly, and he has just grown an enterprise. And there is not a nicer guy, loyal listeners, if you want to check him out as well, Quincy Branch. There is not a nicer guy on the face of the earth than Quincy Branch. And I mean, Benz, you could be nicer than him. I just don't know you that well, so I'm gonna say him. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
So, Benz, a question. You said you were reading a book. Maybe you did tell us, but here's what we say to wrap this up. Leaders are readers, and readers are leaders, and you're a leader, so you must be a reader. What are you reading right now or listening to?
Well, what I'm listening to right now, They Ask, You Answer.
That's right. Yes. Great book. Great book. Imagine that. Someone asks a question and you answer. And Marcus Sheridan sells thousands and thousands of books that tell that to people. Sometimes we are so goofy. You know, sometimes we just, the simplest shit, we're like, I wonder, this book is amazing. It tells me to answer people's questions. And it's like, anyway, and there's a lot more to it than that. It's really, really wild. Benz, I really do appreciate you coming on. I really, really, truly do. Your story is inspirational. I wish you the most success inside this industry. If you ever need me, please reach out to me. I would love to mentor you, tell you anything, tell you all the F-ups I've had, and the things that we can share together. So thank you very much, Benz.
No, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. You give me the opportunity be a guest on your podcast, man. Hey, Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Now, not what I learned before I leave, before I let you go. What I learned, man, by going to this conference where I met Marcus, man, is that everybody that was there, they put a seed. They was like, we're not the enemy. No, we're not the enemy. Yeah, we might have competition, but we're not the enemy, man. And we work together. No, we already know what the competition is out there, but being independent on the independent side, man, like we are not the enemies, man. And I appreciate that. I appreciate you of what you're doing, man. Thank you for the opportunity, and we're gonna keep doing this, man. We're gonna keep doing this. I like this.
There's only one way, and it's One Way Insurance Group, over there by Mr. and Mrs. Jean. So, hey, Ben, I do appreciate you once again. All you loyal listeners, you know that I appreciate you. You know that I do what I do because I do it for you. Tell me your thoughts and tell me your ideas, and I'm going to tell the world what you have to say. This has been Jason Cass, where I gave you a real agent inside a real agency, giving you the real agency intelligence and not the artificial that they try to make you believe out there. This is Cass. He's Gene. We're out.